Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, thank you for stopping on by. It's March, so that makes it Women's History Month. And today happens to be International Women's Day. So a happy International Women's Day to you, and all of you. I wanted to speak about the movers and the shakers of the best city on earth. Oh yes, you guessed it, New York City. So I want to talk about 8 influential women who shaped New York City's history, past and present. So let's get on into it. Number 1, Shirley Chisholm. Oh yes, Big Auntie Cheryl from Bed-Stuy, Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn in New York. She won a seat in state legislature in 1964, but really what she wanted to do was represent Brooklyn on a national level. And after district lines were redrawn in 1968, she won a seat in Congress. You might also happen to remember that she was the first black candidate to run for any major party nomination in an election in the United States of America. Number 2, Billie Holiday. Oh yes, Billie Holiday. She's the reason why nightlife is the way it is in New York today. In the 1930s and 1940s, she reshaped race assumptions and she made sure that entertainment was no longer a black and white thing. She performed at places like Cafe Society and really actually changed entertainment as we know it today. You can still see her influence in cabaret, in clubs, and entertainment throughout New York, really. 3, Jane Jacobs. Oh yes, Jane Jacobs was a community leader, an activist, and she's the reason why downtown Manhattan is downtown Manhattan. Robert Moses wanted to build his expressway and get rid of downtown Manhattan as we know it. And thanks to her, she fought for it, and we still have those communities till this day. 4, Emily Warren Roebling. Oh, I personally thank you. She's basically the reason why we have the Brooklyn Bridge today. I don't know if you've ever been on the Brooklyn Bridge. If you haven't, you should go. Great place to take pictures. Great place to just walk and see New York City above the water. I personally love it. But yes, Emily Warren Roebling was basically a bridge builder. Her husband, Washington Roebling, who was responsible for building the bridge, fell very sick. Of course, he later died, but she was his eyes and ears for this whole project. And she learned architecture through just observing. And, you know, we have the Brooklyn Bridge today. She was the first to cross it. I've crossed it several times, so I feel like I'm part of history as well. Number 5, Eleanor Roosevelt. You might know her as the president's wife, but New Yorkers know her as a world leader. She was a social worker in Manhattan. After the death of her husband, Franklin Roosevelt, she came back to New York and she was a U.S. delegate to the United Nations. A New Yorker through and through. 6, Lillian Walls. Oh, this woman did so much. She was a nurse, a social worker, an activist. You can call her an innovator. She was a nurse who started the Henry Street Settlement. Funny enough, I was actually going to work there once. And she also helped to found the NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. She basically innovated school playgrounds, and she's the reason why we even have the school lunch programs. Thank you, because many a days that helped me out when I was hungry. Her life simply was about helping people, social work, nursing, education. So thank you, Lillian Walls. I personally appreciate all of your contributions to New York City. Number 7, if you ever had a hot comb run through your hair, you should know this woman. Yes, Madam C.J. Walker. Madam C.J. Walker was the richest and the most powerful woman in Harlem. Let me tell you something. She shattered, as in like that glass ceiling, she broke it. She shattered gender and race barriers. She hired several black women to work for her. She created several products for black hair and hair in general. So thank you, Madam C.J. Walker, because if I ever want to get my hair straightened, I know it was because of you. It should also be noted that much of her wealth she left to several African American organizations. Number 8. This one is actually my personal favorite since I know her. Yes. Principal Eleanor S. Andrew. Oh, if you are from Southeast Queens, you know this woman. This woman is a fighter. Oh, she was my principal when I attended PS 132, the Ralph Bunche School. She was my principal when I attended PSIS 270, which is now the Gordon Park School, but it was the School for Inquisitive Minds when I attended. She... I don't even know how to describe Miss Andrew. She made sure that children were on top of their academics and were on top of their house chores. She literally left an impact on, such a strong impact on myself and so many of my classmates and so many students who wanted to get into her school. Everybody wanted to go to a school where Miss Andrew was the principal, because that just meant that everything was going to run in a orderly manner and you were going to get the best education possible. So Miss Andrew, if you ever see this, I just want to say thank you. On behalf of my classmates and people who wanted to be at your schools, thank you. She's currently on the board of the Eagle Academy School for Young Men. So she's still moving and shaking Southeast Queens. Thank you, Miss Andrew. Of course, I have a bonus for you. You know I love you. And who else would I include for that bonus if not me? Ibironke, yes. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York / Queens, New York. It's always difficult to explain. I was born in Brooklyn, lived there for half a decade, lived the rest of my life in Queens. I've been all around the city, even the Bronx. But yes, I am a New Yorker through and through. I love my city and I love the women who helped shape it. And I can't wait to see what our future women will do. So once again, a very happy International Women's Day to you and yours. Bye now.